Come here, y'all. Listen, this is a storyteller again. These posts that I make are leadership principles. And before I make my third post, I want to make a special post for a generation of women that shows some leadership skills that we have seemed to have forgotten. This is a shout out to women that take the mirror test every day. See, real women take the mirror test every day, not with filters, but with fire. See, she had to look in the mirror and say, am I going to keep on entertaining a man who called me a queen, but treat me like a seat cushion? See, she passed on the dude with the saggy jeans, the three baby mamas, and a mixtape in the glove box, all so she could become the woman she dreamed of. Meanwhile, we live in a culture that celebrates visibility over value, where women are praised for their packaging but punished for their principles. See, y'all, we clap for curves, but we'll dismiss character. We repost selfies, but ignore sacrifice. She didn't choose healing because it was trending. See, y'all, she chose it because she was tired of handing out discounts on her dignity. She didn't look in the mirror to fix her face. She looked to face herself. Mhm. And it wasn't about vanity, it was about clarity. See, she said, I'm not for sale. I'm already paid for. Y'all know what I'm talking about. See, you know how strong you got to be to stay in a marriage with a man who is broken while you trying to keep him whole. See, there's a generation of women who stayed, mhm, not out of weakness, but because they believed if they didn't fight for him, no one else would. She took the hits the world gave him, and y'all, she took the hits he gave her, and still got up the next day to braid her daughter's hair and make sure her son had clean drawers for court. See, the world told her, want to be seen? Be sexy. So what did she do? She walked in with hips, heels, and a resume more solid than half of y'all relationships. She ain't showing cleavage, she's showing strategy. They tried to shrink her to an image, and she expanded it into a blueprint. See, while Instagram was teaching women to pose, she was reading contracts and heels and praying over her own growth and her worth. She didn't need likes. She needed boundaries, a mentor, and silence on Sundays. Let me talk to you. See, there's a whole generation of Black women who took the mirror test in silence. See, they were called welfare queens, but they were running whole empires out of Section 8. The system gave them crumbs and they made cornbread. These women stayed in marriages with broken men, raised children in broken systems, and somehow kept everybody fed with a broken heart. See, y'all, she wasn't loud, she wasn't trending, but she was the reason half the family didn't fall apart. She didn't need she didn't need to post her trauma. She prayed through it. And when she looked in the mirror, she didn't see a victim. Y'all, she saw a soldier, not for clout, but for survival. See, those are the women I knew. These women ain't waiting on validation because they was living in alignment. They knew what peace costs. They knew what healing requires. And they ain't dressing it up for a like. So before you call it growth, make sure, girl, make sure it ain't just a new outfit on the same old fear. Because the mirror don't lie. But it will tell y'all when it's time to stop pretending. Is that woman who looked in the mirror and still showed up for people who wouldn't even show up for her. That's the mirror test. So to every woman who said no when it was easier to say yes, who chose growth over gossip, chose peace over being posted, raised kids, and Lord raised standards, and survived everything, including using. Y'all stand up. I'm going to stand up and salute, not for clout, not for likes, just because. You wouldn't even be here without her. This is the storyteller signing out, comedian, coach. Listen, y'all drop in the comments the woman that you salute. Later.